into the mindset more than the process. So the process
You
is
were.
it is a long process. You can't even see the process if your mind ain't there yet. You know what I'm saying? So I was speaking more to the mindset. Go ahead,
And
Celie.
to your credit, and the first thing I said, I'm gonna stop right here. I said Marcus only had a minute and a half, and so I know that's why he shortened it. That's why I said that right.
What I learned in many a training about people is this: there's personality types. There's one person out there, they call them the red Corvette kind of person. Or red in general, And that person, if you ain't showing them enough and enough possibility of the cars and the Lamborghinis and the Tyreek Hill's nice car before he got pulled out of it yesterday or Sunday, if you don't show them that, they're not signing up with you. There's another person that if you can't show them every statistic, Dave, if you can't break down the odds of making it, if you can't show them what every ingredient is in that thing, if you can't tell them who the manufacturer is of it, are they live in a green country, or who's the politics behind where this product comes from? If you can't show them all that, they're not rolling with you. Another person is if you ain't helping the community, and you ain't helping Mother Nature, and you ain't feeding the whales, and you ain't really, with Mother Teresa and them, they not rolling with you. And then there's some other folks that will tell you, if you ain't having fun and y'all ain't getting on a yacht, and y'all ain't going out there turning up, then I ain't rolling with you. So when I figured that out, I realized it takes all types. And it's not going to ever develop a speech stream that's going to impress everybody in any room in Clubhouse or anywhere else in life. So just understand that. But find people that can.
So we speaking about entrepreneurship,
like, put him on your team. And definitely have somebody else that can
being a business
owner
owner,
and speak to all those different colors
and what it takes,
and then you'll be better off in life.
the process.
I heard what you and Clarissa said. The other
But before we could
grouping of individuals
get to the process
have listed are individuals that come with
of business and
a skill set,
entrepreneurship,
and they don't have a lot of
we gotta change the mindset.
financial.
So there has to be a
traction.
mindset
They
shift.
have a skill set, and they partner with other.
Many of us we learn how to make some money.
Um,
We learn how to earn an income. And so we may learn a certain job or a certain skill that someone pay us a couple of dollars an hour for. And some of us stay there. Some of us continue learning, and now, you have a job, more so of a career that allows you to come to work and not just work, but now you come to work and learning as well. And so you come to work and learning enough every day, either by the instruction that the company is giving you, the business is giving you, or by your own knowledge, right? Your own seeking of betterment. You come to work, you clocking in, and then you pulling out a book. You're reading from the audio. You're listening to an audio book at work. You studying for an exam. You're applying the knowledge real time. A career, hey, you can't really come to work smelling like what you've been doing with a career. You probably don't have to clock in with your career. You probably just show up, log in, do things virtually, meet up at certain venues outside of the facility. A lot of people stay at the job and stay at the career, and they get comfortable, but there's always another level. And when 2020 happened, a lot of people learned how to make money online too, but they didn't learn how to really start and expand and grow a business. So if you're a solopreneur, you are what we call the CEO of yourself. You don't have a team. There's no one under you. There's no onboarding, no handbook, no mission, vision, core values, no anything within your brand. Then to get to that next level, you have to learn something else. You have to learn something new. In order to stay at the level that you're at, if you are at the top, you have to never stop learning. You have to keep up with the world-class training that's taking place day after day, year after year, decade after decade. Some people learned how to make money online over 10, 20 years ago. Some people didn't. Some people just learned how to make money online in 2020. Some people didn't. Some people learn how to make money online in 2020 and jump right back offline and now only making money in the oxygen world. It's a lot of ways to go and get it. but there's also a lot of ways to create, make, and generate it online. I'm on Clubhouse now having a conversation with some people that's saying how it's too mind-wrecking to own a business. Is they rather just clock out, go home, and not have to worry about anything else that's going on outside of the house. And that's a great way to live, at least that's a good way to live. But if you want to live great, then I suggest, just think about working, having a job, having a career, but then clocking out to clock in for yourself and learning how to do something else online too. Learn how to multitask. I was asking like, hey, you was like, hey, my bills are paid and that's all I need as long as my bills paid. And I was like, well, what about everybody else's bills? What about when everybody else needs a hand up? Who's gonna look out for them? You want to be the borrower or the giver.
And then when I do hear other people talking, they're just talking these white man statistics, saying it's maybe.
Another big piece was don't be a statistic. Right?
It's not saying people won't, because there's some
don't be a statistic.
I'm going to take that 10% chance, but I just think it's kind of like sometimes with some statistics.
What are some entrepreneurial statistics for first-time startups and business owners that fail in the United States?
And fellowship with each other, and even sometimes with careers and stuff.
Let's see what we say.
It's very discouraging. People.
Entrepreneurial statistics for first-time business owners in the United States highlight challenges and opportunities. About 20% of new businesses fail within the first year, and around 50% close within 5 years. Only about 30% survive for 10 years or more. Despite the risks, many entrepreneurs persist and find success through adaptability and learning from failures. What does that mean? Even though 20% of new businesses fail within the first year, whatever you did to start that business prior to it failing, that's knowledge that you got that you could take with you onto the next idea, onto the next opportunity. 50% of the businesses close within 5 years. What does that mean? That means you were successful enough to pay some bills and learn something for 5 years, enough to where you can stay in the green. But what happened is after you hit that 5-year mark, boom, new technology came out that you failed to learn. New ways of doing business in your industry that you failed to learn. You stayed the same instead of learning something new. So after 55 years, you close. Only about 30% survive for 10 years or more. Shout out to She's Happy Hair, man. Despite the risks, many entrepreneurs persist and find success through adaptability and learning from failures. Even if you are a used-to-be entrepreneur, when you get back into the workforce, you can ask for more money. Put on your resume, hey, I generated this amount of money doing this at this business or brand. When they see that, they're going to respect that. You let them know, hey, I'm coming in with a different kind of mindset. The skills that I'm bringing to the team is going to double your bottom line. We're going to increase the profit here. There's more. I'm going to go to 2. Let me see what they talking about on Clubhouse real quick.
Black woman president. Whoever has been a black woman vice president. Most black women don't start college. They don't even graduate. Girl, you know that shit ain't even. They waved above it, and thank God her parents and whoever the hell was around her was telling her, no, girl, you can do that. Same thing with Barack Obama. This is what kills me is those are the only things that fuel the big picture. So to not have those stories, to not have somebody that 1%, that 0.0005% that keeps on striving, that for those things, knowing damn well, okay, yeah, most ain't gonna make it, but why would we spend our time talking about those that don't make it? Your own body, your own mind will let you realize that if you're not cut out for that, you're gonna find something else to do.
Hey, so
but I'm saying, as much as we need as a community, when we just let every conversation in Clubhouse be like, you ain't gonna do that. You know you ain't really about that. You know how many thoughts and dreams and ideas have been killed in Clubhouse? I mean, that it becomes a thing to do. Like, you learn to train. It's like a flea trainer. You know, the fleas eventually won't even try to get out. Real quick, there's one story about the flea trainer, and I'll pass it to you. Do you know that if you want to put a bunch of fleas in a jar, and then you put the lid on it, them fleas will be right now initially trying to get up out of that jar. They'll be, you come back so many hours, so many minutes, so many days, and them fleas still alive, and they put holes in it so that they can breathe. But take the lid off at some point, and them fleas won't even try to get out the damn jar anymore. That, because I understand that about some damn fleas, I know the same thing about human nature. Oh, nigga, you ain't never gonna do that. You can't strive to be nothing other than where you come from. Who else has ever done that in your life? You know how many times I've heard that kind of logic in Clubhouse? I'll pass the mic.
Okay, the only pushback I have, if somebody can talk you out your dream, then you weren't gonna make it any goddamn way. Right? So I don't, talk is talk. If you're a winner, talk is not gonna be effective. Entrepreneurism and making money as a black man American is so hard that if a negative motherfucker disrails you from what you was destined to be, you probably weren't gonna make it anyway. So, Clubhouse, I've seen people talk people out their dream. That motherfuckers wasn't gonna be successful. If a random motherfucker on Clubhouse can get in your motherfucking head and dissuade you from what you are destined to be, your ass need to
So,
go get a fucking job.
we still talking about entrepreneurship.
Right.
And some people don't have the mindset to create. Some people got the mindset to apply. If you think you can, you're right. If you think you can't, you're right. I feel like everybody can do just about anything. It may take a while. Some may take longer than others. But you can do what you see other people do. One of the few things that I know I can't do that I've seen other people do, I can't dunk. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never dunked on a 10-foot goal. I ain't the only one. I have no hops. I'm an athlete. I ran hurdles. Never got last place. Never fell on a hurdle. But I can't dunk. I can outswim everybody that can hear the sound of my voice. Everybody that can hear the sound of my voice, I can beat you in the freestyle 100-meter swim. The 200, the however many hundreds you want to do. I'll smoke you. So, with lifeguards and all. With that being said, I can't dunk though. Even though I can't do what I see LeBron doing on the court, just about anything he doing off the court, hey man, I can do it too. Sometimes you see people with certain skills or talents or gifts that just wasn't given to you. And that's okay. But there are some things that you're going to see other people doing that you can do too. It's just like being in school, right? In order for you to get to the next level, in elementary, middle school, high school, sometimes you have to look around and see what everybody else is doing, right? Sometimes you have to look to your left, look to your right, look on the table closest to you and see what they was doing. Because especially if they get the results that you want. If you are doing what you're doing over here, but you're not getting the results you want, it's okay to look around and see like what other people are doing and maybe attempt to do it too. But when you learn how to do what those people are doing, you can't forget about the processes that they went through, the books that they read, the mentors that they had, the time in craft. You can't think that you're going to skip all that and get all of the results as well. So in business and entrepreneurship, you can't just learn how to make money and think that you're going to be a businessman or woman. You have to learn the business principles, the processes, the systems, the softwares, everything that goes with running, growing, starting, expanding, scaling a business or a brand. And I want to help. You can DM the word data on my Instagram page. I'm always doing these master classes. They're virtual. You can tap in from wherever you at around the U.S. You get a chance to know what I know and do what I'm doing in your industry and maybe get the results as well. You get a chance to apply the knowledge that I've gotten over the years since 2011, right? That's when I graduated from college with my business degree. Graduated in 2011, 2012. She's Happy Hair was started, and we started with $800, grew to over $100 million in sales and counting. I'm not $110 plus million in sales, you know, because it's just still going and going and going. And so shout out to the team, shout out to the foundation, shout out to everybody that's ever worn a She's Happy Hair shirt. I just want to say thank you. Thank you to the customers more than anything. And before I cut out, I'm going to jump back into Clubhouse and see what else they talking about as far as this entrepreneurship goes.
Half the niggas you think are faithful are not faithful.
Well, the bar is crowd.
Especially if they're successful. Half the niggas you think are faithful, niggas ain't faithful. Because most niggas I know, you ain't gonna make all that money and only fuck one bitch. Niggas got to tell the truth.
Jonathan,
What is he talking about?
There are men who have one woman, who have one wife, and that's it.
And they got a side bitch.
No,
and they got a bitch.
Jonathan, because a black man is successful and has a wife,
It's not a
children,
black
and
man.
family.
It's not a black man.
Oh, okay.
It's
I'm talking about
men.
just men. Men,
It's not
period.
men. I'm not putting no color to it. Most men are as faithful as they options.
Let's go find us another room, man. So, this live was prompted from the discussion about money and if it's the black community's core value. And so that made me start talking about entrepreneurship, business, the failure statistics. It's always a hard word for me to say. I think it's important to not become a statistic. Don't be the 20% of new businesses that fail within the first year. Don't be the 50% of businesses that close within the first 5 years. Don't be, the 70% of businesses that go out of business by year 10. Be that 30% that survives for 10 years or more. The startup costs. Let's talk about startup costs. According to the U.S. Small Business Administration, most U.S. small businesses are started with an average capital of $10,000 or less. First-time entrepreneurs often rely on personal savings, loans, or support from friends or family. Amazon, right?
I know 20 dudes that are in their 40s and 50s that got wives on the face.
Are they successful, Ty?
They're all corporate guys. They all go to church together.
They're not.
Well, I don't follow them around.
Amazon was started by Jeff Bezos in 1994 with initial funding. Approximately, Jeff Bezos had about $10,000, man. So let's go back. I'm just showing you that there's always another level. So startup costs. I'm just letting you know, Amazon, one of the biggest brands. They deliver stuff to all y'all houses, including mine. You probably got an Amazon address. Most U.S. small businesses are started with an average capital of $10,000 or less. First-time entrepreneurs often rely on personal savings. Jeff Bezos had $10,000. He relied on his personal savings, his own money to get Amazon off the ground. He had a lucrative career on Wall Street before starting in Amazon. If I remember right, I think he went to school right here, grade school at least, right here in Houston, Texas. The family investments, major supporters in the early days invested a significant amount of their personal savings, reportedly around $245,000 into the company. How do you convince somebody to invest $245,000 into your company? You got to show results. So clearly, he was already able to show the results from the little money that he started off with his startup. And that's what business is. A lot of people feel like you need a lot of money to do a lot of things. And you really just need a little bit of money to get a lot of things done. If you have a little bit of money and you know what to do with it, you buy the product, which is the first strategy, right? You buy the product, you provide a service, somebody buy, you sell the product, right? And then that transaction is the number one strategy that we all come up with. Buy this product, sell this product, get the money. Strategy one. After that, all the other strategies cost money. All the other strategies cost money. But if you're doing that transaction that I just said, instead of doing it one-to-one, you're doing it one-to-many, it's easy for you to show the results to the outside people looking in. You have a CRM already. You're already selling a lot of books. People are buying a lot of books. So now since people are buying a lot of books and you're collecting a lot of data, you're now asking people, hey, what other books should I sell? They're telling you what other books you should sell. That data that you're collecting, that list that's growing, the money that's coming in from people buying books, and all of that is important for you to show the future investors, hey, look what I got right now. Check out my customer list. Look at all the money I made from these people on this list. They're willing to give me some more money if I have the right thing. So instead of just selling books, he began asking those people on that list, hey, what else should I sell? Of course, they responded with like, hey, get this book, get that magazine. But instead of just stuff to read, why don't you sell these things? Not just books. Now, I'm not just going to purchase books. What else should I sell from A to Z? And hence Amazon. I said all that to say it don't cost and take $10,000 to start and grow a business or a brand. I did it with my team way back in 2012, over a decade ago, and I think you can do it faster now than you could then because of the tools and the software and the AI and everything that's out. What used to take a year, 5 years, 10 years, now should only take a month, 6 months. You know, it shouldn't take you long to do a lot of things. So, startup costs. It's important to know that anybody can get money, but you got to be educated to keep it and educated to know what to do with it. Industries with higher success. Industries with higher success. Industries such as healthcare, social assistance, construction, and technical services tend to have higher survival rates. If you want to make some money, you can get into the service industry. A lot of those things where, you know, opportunities where you got to be there to get it. If you're doing hair, nails, washing cars, repairing vehicles, a lot of face-to-face opportunities, or most of the time service jobs. Products now are not sold just face-to-face like they used to be. Since COVID, people are ordering quite a bit online too, from groceries to toothbrushes to house shoes. Shout out to lifeflexglobal.com. lifeflexglobal.com. LYFE global.com. It's America's first slipper subscription service. We ship house shoes, slippers to your doorstep. And in 3 months, 6 months, or a year, you have a brand new pair of slippers and house shoes delivered to your doorstep automatically for the rest of your life. That allows you to have fresh feet, fresh toes, and fresh house shoes. So if you want fresh everything around your house, you don't want to be tracking the old dirt and the old skin cells, holla at us over here at LifeLex. You can text the word LYFE to 888-111. And yeah, this is my commercial break. You know, I got a few of these I'm gonna throw up in there. Definitely want to make sure that you jump into the right industries, because house shoes and slippers wasn't on the names with, you know, the high survival rates. But once you get a product that everybody needs, not once, but for the rest of their life, and not just one person, but everybody on the family tree, it's impossible not to continue to win. It's impossible. There's so many things you can put on subscription right now that is in everybody's household, that you could become the household brand name go-to for quite a few companies, for quite a few households. Retail and food services often experiencing higher failure rates due to high competition and lower margins. Now, if you're already in the restaurant industry, you should be able to get more money now than ever before, because whatever you were only doing in your restaurant, now you're doing it online too. So the customers that you can only serve that came to the restaurant, now you can serve them online too. You should be on DoorDash, Grubhub, Uber Eats, all these different platforms. You should be selling food and having options from your own personal website. You should be collecting the data from the customer at the register and letting them know, like, hey, come back and see me on this day. Here's the specials. Here's the discounts. If you're not doing that, you're probably not going to stay in business. You're probably going to be a mom and pop. You're probably not going to expand to the other side of town too, or to another city and state. But if you want to do that, you can go to my DM on Instagram, DM the word data, DATA, and I'll show you the exact strategies that you need to grow your business from one side of town to the other side of town, as well as scale and grow your business online, or even to a whole nother city and state. Globalpreneurs, man. We ain't staying local, man. Go DM the word data, DATA. Join that masterclass. Funding. Oh, here's another thing too. When you jump into the product side of any business, right, these industries, when you find, somebody told me about umbrellas the other day, I was like, hey, that's a great idea. Why is umbrellas a great idea? Because everybody needs one. Everybody will buy a new one if this is presented to them right. Technology changes, the way things pop up change, right? There's maybe a new mechanism on the umbrella that comes out, and if you're a part of that wave, you can be the new umbrella, the new go-to umbrella brand, selling the new mechanisms and the old mechanisms, the big umbrellas and the small umbrellas, the clear umbrellas and the dark umbrellas, the custom umbrellas, right? And now you onto something where now you understand the umbrella industry, and you making all this money in the industry that you never even thought you'd be a part of. Which is a $6.2 billion industry. Before I jump into any industry, I'm going to do my research and see, hey, how big is this pot of gold at the end of the rainbow? Is this a product that I want to sell? Is this an industry that I want to jump into? And if I don't see billion or trillion dollar industry, then I probably want to jump into it. The pie's not big enough. I'm not saying don't do it. I'm just saying the pie's not big enough for me. Because if I get a small slice of $1 million industry, I'm still kind of hungry. But if I get a small slice of $1 trillion industry, hey man, my family eating good. You know what I'm saying? Family eating good, because it's not just about me, it's about the people around me as well. So make sure, for your sake and for your family tree, you actually seek and find the approximate revenue or value that the industry extracts from the GDP. $6.2 billion. Actually, and that's global, so that's not even GDP, that's worldwide. The growth rate, though, is supposed to go up 3 to 4% from 2022 to 2030. That's because there's going to be more people birthed on Earth which means that there's more customers that's going to need to cover themselves on a rainy day around the world. Notice we're talking about global products because the goal isn't to make money where you're at. The goal is to make money everywhere and online too, all over the globe. There's nobody sending umbrella emails. There's nobody looking to create email marketing for Black Friday saying, get your email, get your umbrellas, buy one, get one. Nobody's doing that. Funding challenges. Approximately 82% of small businesses experience cash flow problems. Lack of access to capital is one of the leading reasons why first-time business owners struggle. Many first-time founders also find it difficult to secure loans or venture capital funding. If you don't automate your life, somebody will. A lot of entrepreneurs find themselves doing the same thing day after day, week after week, month after month, customer after customer. And when you find yourself doing those things, you get exhausted. But if you can automatically have those same conversations or do some of those same things with processes and systems, life can get a little easier for you. You start adding people to the team, giving them titles, salary, expectations, roles, responsibilities. Things can get a little easier for you. If 82% of small businesses experience cash flow problems, that means they're doing the wrong things with the money that they're getting from the customers. Because if you start off with this product and now you're sold out, the money that's supposed to be in the bank for costs and expenses, you've probably misused it to do other things. And so that's mismanaging funds. You didn't learn the right thing to do with the money when you got it. So now you're out of business when you're supposed to buy the product again that allows you to win. So with that being said, if 82% of small businesses experience cash flow and lack of access to capital is one of the leading reasons why first-time business owners struggle, then many first-time founders also probably find it difficult to secure loans and venture capital funding. Because if you already failed and now you're going to the bank saying, hey, I got this great idea. And, I've been doing this thing for a little while. And, I have this amount of money come in through the bank account. And, we was winning for a little while, but now we not. But if I just had, a little bit of this, I could do a little bit more of that. So you ask the bank, and the bank is like, nah, looking at your numbers. So you ask the venture capital funder, and he's like, nah. And it's all because what'd you do with the last money that you had? Clearly you didn't do what you were supposed to do with it. So again, anybody can get money, but you got to be educated to keep it, grow it, invest it. The age of entrepreneurs, the average age of a successful startup founder in the U.S. is 42 years old. Although many first-time entrepreneurs start businesses earlier or later in life, age can bring advantages such as experience and risk tolerance. To all the young people, all the old people, all the people, there's always another level. You don't have to stay where you're at. You don't have to stay the same. You can learn and grow. Female entrepreneurs, women-owned businesses represent about 42% of all small businesses in the U.S., but they face challenges like accessing capital. On average, female founders raise less capital than their male counterparts. Success factors, businesses that have clear plans, market research, customer understanding, digital strategies, employee hiring. 19% of first-time business owners hire their first employee within the first year. Just 19%. And you wonder why so many businesses fail, because only 19% of first-time business owners hire their first employee within the first year. Everybody else is the CEO of themselves. and they're what we call a solopreneur. These statistics emphasize the importance of preparation, adaptability, and access to resources for first-time entrepreneurs to increase their chances of success in business. And look, if you want to be the brick and mortar king or queen, if you feel like you're still not in business mentally, or to your people, you're still not fulfilled until you have a brick and mortar, because I recommend you do whatever you do online too, right? But if you want to just go straight to brick and mortar, make sure you get a brick and mortar location off the freeway, or at least convenient enough to where the customers can get to you. Don't have it to where the customer got to exit the freeway, make a left, drive down the street, go over the train track, stop at the stop sign, go straight down that street, pass up the library, you go see a Walmart to the right, and then you might see the street that you need to turn down before you get to the actual location that they're trying to come to give you some money. Don't make it so hard for them to support you. Peace out. Marcus Bowers TV. I'm getting back on Clubhouse, man. Actually, what I'm about to do really is do a recap of last night's debate. So today is 9/11. We'll be talking about last night's debate.